everybody was speaking English in the beginning, the first day that I was there, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what any of them are saying.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is another interesting video. It's a video of a hair company. A black woman came online to call out this hair company, Ebin, New York. And this company is known for their lace spray glue. They are known for their edge control. I even have their hair tint, their lace wig glue thing. Anyway, this black queen worked with them and she shared her experience of working with them, and she was talking about a lot of the discrimination she got from being a black woman on the team, how they ill-treat her, how they fired her wrongly, how they will be at work and they will all be speaking in Korea, how they just intentionally were just being rude and just telling her a whole lot of crazy things that makes her to cry every single day at work. And this story has gotten a lot of black women outraged. Like, black women are not happy about the story. So I need you guys to check out the story. Yeah, the story. And it's a very long story. So grab your popcorn, grab something to eat. Okay, so we're going to check out the story. But before we get into this video, I just want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you guys. Like, you guys are so amazing. The love you guys have showed me this couple of days that I have been sick. Whew. I just made me realize how much amazing this community we're building is. And I do want to thank you guys for checking up on me, dropping your messages, your prayers, remedies I can use for it. Thank you guys so much. And if somebody's asking me how am I doing, I'm doing way better than I was a couple of days ago. But I'm still very, very shaky. But I had to do this video, okay? I'm still very shaky. I still have the pause all over me, okay? Is it showing? Anyway, the pause is still all over my hands. I'm still going through it. But yeah, but I'm way better. I'll be able to take a good shower so far. So yeah, I know I'll get better. But I just had to come do this video because YouTube is funny when you're not showing your face a lot on your videos. So yeah, I had to come here to do that. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this story time. This sister has to say that got the entire internet and black women outraged. Then I'll come back and share more of my thoughts.
Story time of me working for Ebin, New York as the only black person in corporate. Honestly, y'all, it took a lot out of me to even make this video. It's been 3 months since I left the job. They actually fired me. Wrongful termination, but we'll get to that. It has just been a very long journey. Ebin, New York is a very popular beauty brand. They are very known for their 24-hour edge controls. I'll put it right here. And they're also very known for their wig sprays. So hairstylists, listen up, because a lot of you, even if you're not a hairstylist, if you're a black woman, black people in general, listen up, because I was treated so horribly, guys. Like, I would go to the bathroom every day at work and cry. It was to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it was. So I initially seen a job posting on LinkedIn for being their content creator, basically like the face of the brand. Just do like a quick couple of videos for them. So the HR lady, the company's very small. If that, like, the company is like 80 people or whatever. So there was only one HR person at the time. And this lady, she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she was like, oh, can you come in for an interview? Like, we would love to talk to you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and she's just like telling me all about the brand. And I realized that she kept saying like, oh, we're trying to make it more diverse in the office. We're trying to make it, she just kept saying that. We're just trying to make it more diverse in the office. So I'm just looking around and I'm like, well, there are a lot of Korean people. How are you guys doing this? Like, what do you mean? There's no black people at all? So she's showing me like, oh, they have like in-house beauty hairstylers, nail techs, lash techs, whatever, and they test out the products. They're not on the corporate side though. I didn't know this. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, so I see some black women in the office, cool. So I'm looking around, it's just nothing but Korean people. That still didn't bother me because I still seen like some black women in the office. So I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter. So she seen my resume and she was like, how do you feel about actually working full time as a marketer, social media marketer? And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like I could come into the office every day and, do marketing. That's what I went to school for, communications and marketing. So I took on a job, and the first day that I went to work, they was just basically showing me how to do stuff, what websites they use, and things like that. So I'm already ready to make my first video, post it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Wow. I edited this video and I posted it right before I left. And I noticed that it was going viral within 3 hours. Like, as soon as I posted it, it was going up. So I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, this is my first day and I'm already, showing off, like doing my job. And I was looking at it all night. That's how excited I was. I kept scrolling, going on their page and looking at the video like I'm doing my big one. It was around 8 p.m. that I realized that the video was deleted. So I'm like, what's going on? I was reading the comments the whole time, y'all. Everyone was laughing at the video. They were saying whoever's on the marketing team needs a raise. They were saying all these positive things, right? So I go into work the next morning, and as I'm walking to my desk, I have to pass my supervisor's desk, and I have to pass another coworker that thought she was my supervisor. Let's get into that. We could get into that, but I'm gonna just keep going. So I'm going to my desk, and I see that my coworker is showing my supervisor the video that I posted on TikTok from the account or whatever. So I'm like, they're just like literally looking at it or whatever, like reading the comments. And I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, why did the video delete? And all I know is that they looked at me and they was just like, there was too many negative comments. So then I go on the account and I, look at the comments. I'm like, there's no negative comments. Someone was saying like, oh, the person that posted it, like the marketing team, the company better be black owned or something like that, because the video was funny. It was about SZA, I think it was. Like, it was about a black person doing a wig. It was some creative thing that I did. It was just all jokes, and it was good for marketing. So I was like, there's no negative comments here. And I felt some type of way because I'm like, it was my first day. I made a video go viral. Y'all needed help going viral and keep marketing these products and stuff. And I'm over here doing it on the first day, and y'all trying to figure out one little thing. Y'all see one little comment that says something, a little negative to y'all, and y'all want to delete it. That's not how this works. Like, yeah, we gotta get some tough skin around here if y'all want to keep going up in this company. So I let that slide. But ever since that day, I realized like everyone was just in competition with me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like they were no longer trying to teach me anything. They were no longer First of all, I realized, let me just backtrack. Ever since that day, they had started speaking Korean the whole time in the office, in the marketing room. Korean. I had no conversation with them. They would speak to me whenever they told me to just do something. They would have meetings in full-blown Korean. Even the CEO would come in and speak in Korean. And nobody thought to even, look and be like, oh, let's just speak in English for now. We do have a black lady here that's just not Korean, and she doesn't know anything that we're saying. So I just started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, there's no way that, everybody was speaking English in the beginning. The first day that I was there, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what any of them are saying. So literally the next week, I came into the office. I go in the bathroom. I come out. My supervisor, my coworkers, no one in the marketing team is in the office. So I'm like, I know for sure the day before, my supervisor was telling me like, oh, we're going to go to New York to set up for this TV show that we're doing or whatever. So I'm like, I know they did not leave me in the office by myself while they're in New York. Like, they went to the New York office. So I contacted my supervisor right away, and he's like, oh yeah, we did leave you. He didn't really have anything to say. that's the thing that really got to me, is because like he really just was like, oh yeah, we left you, just do some work, edit some videos or whatever. Like he didn't have no real reason to be leaving me. Like he just did not care. So I'm just like, I feel some type of way now, because it's like, y'all speaking Korean, y'all leaving me out of things. What, like, is this a team or not? So once I realized like they're separating me, I have coworkers that's talking to me any kind of way. The supervisor is just letting the coworkers talk to me any kind of way. I guess she thought that she was a supervisor, but we were literally on the same position. The first day, that was the only time she was nice to me. I guess once my video went viral, something switched. She was just like, oh, there's competition. I don't know, but I don't work like that. Like, if we're a team, we are a team. There's no reason for y'all to be like treating me any type of way. I'm new here, number one. I'm still trying to get the feel of things. I guess they felt intimidated. I don't know. But at that point, I just felt like, why am I in this office every day? Y'all are speaking Korean. Y'all don't want to speak to me at all. I'm at the lunch table trying to figure out where I'm going to go sit at. Because the Korean culture, like, they all sit together. They talk. I sat with them like 1 or 2 days, the first 2 days, and they were just speaking Korean. They did not care. I just felt like that was so rude. So at this point, I'm feeling very uncomfortable about working there, but I'm still just like, I'm very new. Hopefully it'll change. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I went to HR and I complained. Y'all know when people say like HR is not on your side, like HR is not your team, they're just here to protect the company. That's 100% true. In this case, I went to the HR lady and I was telling her, like, I feel very uncomfortable. There are incidents that's going on and I just feel like something has to be done, because this is not the way I know that, a corporate is supposed to be ran. And I'm not supposed to be getting treated like this. I'm a new employee. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I still feel like I'm being left out. Why is that? So she's just like, oh, I understand. Like, I'll speak to the marketing team. I'll speak to your supervisor. I'll try to get them back on track and try to get them, to work with you. When I tell you guys, I worked since August. I was complaining all the way up until January about these things. I even had to take a mental health leave because of this. It was messing with me every single day. The way they treated me, it was like they were micromanaging me a lot. So the Korean culture, like work culture, is very different. I get that. But the way I'm saying they're micromanaging me, every employee at Ebin, New York, they have to write down their daily tasks in Asana, right? The daily tasks, you have to put each hour what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So mine, I had to make sure I put, like, I edited 10 videos today. I posted this. I emailed this person. I reached out to influencers. I did this. Like, my Asana had a whole book of things. And I would get emails when my coworkers would post on their Asana, like upload their stuff. And you can just literally see they would have like 3 bullet points, quick things like scheduler emails, this, that, like very broad. And I was the one that had to put everything in detail, make sure the links was there. Every single thing, guys. I just felt like, what is going on? You know what made it worse? The CEO of the company decided that I need to start having presentations with him, the vice president, HR, and the whole marketing team. And I had to let him know exactly what I was doing. I had to show him every post that I made, everything that I edited, everything, outreach to influencers, every single thing. So at this point, I'm a little frustrated, because it's like, now it's new other Koreans coming in doing the same thing, like marketing and things like that in the same marketing room. And no one has had to do this presentation. I even asked people that were there before me, I'm like, have you guys ever had to do this presentation? They're like, no, I don't know why you had to do it. That's a problem. He's basically just telling me, like, I don't know why you have to do all this, but that's very insane of you to have to sit there and like literally show them what you're doing when you literally are writing it down just how any other co-worker is doing. What really made me feel some type of way is the CEO still didn't care. Like he just had this look on his face, like a disgust look. And I was just like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? He's just like, I just don't see. Like, I just don't get what you do, or I don't get your job. And I was just like, well, didn't you hire me? Like, I'm pretty sure the company, being that he's the CEO, I get that. You guys are probably like, well, he probably didn't hire, he don't know. He goes through every single thing. He's there. Like, he's on your back while you work. He knew that I was going to get hired for the position, what I do, and everything like that. So for you to be talking to me saying, like, I just don't see what you do, and I don't get your job, and are you even happy here? Because if you're not happy here, then you can get out. He told me that. At this point, I just felt like, I sat there and asked him, I said, are you talking about the HR complaints that I've made about me feeling uncomfortable in a marketing room? And right then and there, you know, HR, everyone is in the room. HR is just like, no, he's not talking about that. No, he's not talking about that. So I just didn't know what to do at that point, because it's like, I don't want to quit. I still need a job. But at this point, it's like, they don't want me here. They want me to quit. So what do I do? To make things like a little bit more clear for you guys, Ebin, New York had just took ownership of a black-owned company. They were the first ones to do Jamaican black castor oil, and, you know, they have hair products, all that good stuff. I don't really want to talk about the brand that they just, you know, kind of pushed me onto, because I was complaining so much to HR about me not feeling included with working under Ebin, New York specifically. But basically, they pushed me on to another brand that they took ownership of, and I did the social media for that specific brand. I was still in the same office with all the Koreans, you know, in the marketing room, in that same room, but now I just don't have a team. They told me that I'll have a new supervisor. The supervisor had no experience in marketing. He doesn't know nothing that I'm doing at all. He thinks that I'm just sitting there on my phone all day, because he doesn't realize that I use my phone to edit videos, and I use my iPad to edit all these videos and do all the graphics and things. And he's just sitting there trying to go back into CEO and the vice president and tell them, oh, she doesn't do anything, or like, she just does the bare minimum. Like, it just seemed like they looked for any little thing just to try to get me out of there. He told someone that he was trying to get me fired, if that makes sense, and it got back to me. This same new supervisor, guys, guess what he did? He told me to read over a resume. He literally handed me a paper, and he told me to read the name to see if it was a black name. A black name. What is? So I'm looking at it, I'm like, a black name? What do you mean by that? A black name? And what are you gonna do with it? And I was like, no, the last name actually was like, you can tell it was like a Hispanic name. But I was just like, what's your point, you know? And he never said anything. He was like, no, that's a black name. And then he snatched the resume back, and then that was just that. He was very rude, guys, and it was just like, it was unbelievable, the stuff that I was going through. I'm gonna give you guys another example. I had to travel to Atlanta for a photo shoot for a new line that we were doing. And this new supervisor, he had to book my hotel and stuff. So I had to travel by myself. Usually, like, I travel with coworkers and stuff. I was the only one that was traveling. I had to meet people that were already in Atlanta and do everything else. So I'm just fine with that. It is what it is. So I get to Atlanta. I have the Uber take me to the address of the hotel. Guys, when I tell y'all, this looked like a motel. It was bugs in the room. It was stuff all in the bed. It wasn't a hotel, I'll give you that. Like, it wasn't like just one tall building, nothing like that. It was like literally little rooms, each everywhere. So at this point, I was traveling all day. It was like 6, 7 p.m. I'm trying to walk. It was like later than that, actually, because it was like getting dark. So they had me all the way in the back. So I'm already feeling uneasy. I'm by myself out in Atlanta, and this is where y'all put me in? Y'all have all this money, and y'all want to put me in a hotel like this? Y'all playing in my face. I was cool with 2 other workers that's in a different department. So I'm contacting them. I'm like, when y'all have to travel with, you know, Ebin, do you guys get treated like this? Or are you guys in a nicer hotel? Everyone's just shocked, completely shocked. They're like, I've never been in a hotel like that. I don't know where they have you, but you need to leave. And at that point, I'm just like, I definitely need to leave. I don't feel safe here. The part that they had me in was all the way in the back. It was just a mess. I'm gonna insert some pictures in here so y'all can see it as I'm talking. But so once I realized I don't feel comfortable staying at this hotel, motel, whatever it was, I called him. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. I already booked it and there's nothing we could do. Bye. And hung up.
What?
I kid you not. That's all he did. While I'm sitting there on the verge of crying, saying, you know, I feel unsafe, the room is dirty, and, you know, it's not really a hotel that I feel comfortable in, anything like that. He just said, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to deal with it. Bye. Do you know how crazy I felt for my supervisor to do that, to book something like that, and then just say, I don't know what to tell you, and hang up in my face? At that point, it was just clear as day that they did not care about me at all. They just wanted me to get some work done, and that was it. If I didn't want to quit, they were going to just show me that you need to just quit, because that's it. I have like a whole list of stuff in my iPad that I wrote down each and every day. That's how bad it was, guys. Like, it was always something going on inside this office with me. It was like they were just attacking and attacking. And I had to just go to the bathroom every day and just cry and call my mother or call someone and just tell them what's going on. They couldn't believe I was going through all of that. And just to back it on up really quick, guys, there are 2 people that were working for the brand that they switched me to, if that makes sense. Like, they were on a contract because they still had to show the Koreans how to work, you know, how to work their company, if that makes sense. So I was in close contact with those 2 women, and one of the head of departments of marketing, he actually asked me, was I having a meeting with my grandmothers today? And by grandmothers, he meant those 2 black women, my grandmothers.
What?
Why would that be my grandmother? And why is that appropriate to say in a workplace, anywhere? You don't know if my grandmother's dead, anything. I just couldn't believe that they would be talking to me like this. It was just insane.
Wow.
As if that wasn't enough, they tried to give me more problems while I was in Atlanta, but I just shook it off. So that next week, when we got back from the trip on Monday, I was working with the beauty advisors. I worked very close. That was the only safe space I had there, were the beauty advisors. Those were the black women that were in the hallways, you know, just testing out the products every day. That was my safe space. So as much as I could, like, I would just go and sit with them and try to do as much content as I could, because I felt uncomfortable in that marketing room because no one was talking in English. No one was speaking to me. I just felt, you know, left out. So why not try to be around, you know, people that will actually speak to me or even speak English? So I'm sitting with them, and my supervisor, he comes over to the table. He's like, Samaya, you spent $14 on food. I need the receipt now. I responded, I'm like, I'm sorry, because I did not know what he was talking about. And he's like, why do you have such an attitude? Like, he's literally yelling in front of the beauty advisors and at me, like, in my face, like, why do you have such an attitude? And I'm like, all I said was, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, when did I spend $14 on food and drinks? Please let me know. So at that point, you know how when someone is like ready to say something else, but they're just like trying to hold their tongue? That's what he's doing. And I was like, I just genuinely don't know what you're talking about. He throws the receipt at me and it says, well, ask the head of marketing. The light went off, but we still going. So I go to the person that he told me to go to, which was originally my first supervisor when I first came to Ebin, New York. And I'm asking him, I'm like, all the expenses, receipts, and everything you have. Like, I gave everything to you. I'm not sure why this person is coming at me like this, but please just help me figure this out right now. It's like, oh, well, I don't have the receipt for that date, this, that, the third. So I'm just like, well, let's go through it together. We go through it, and he finds that same receipt for $14. So I go back to the first supervisor that came to me and was coming crazy at me. And I'm like, here, he had the receipt. And he didn't look not one bit at me. He didn't look at me. He didn't apologize for how he was speaking to me or anything. Not even the other supervisor that said that he didn't have the receipt. No one apologized. And I was just like, okay. I took it to the chin. You will think that's it for the day, right? No, it's not. An hour or two later, this supervisor decides to have a meeting with me. The same one I was just talking about, the receipt and all of that. Go in the hallway and have a meeting with me. I just want to let you guys know, like, the way that the office is set up is very little. Everything is glass doors, so you can hear, you can see everything that's going on, even in the hallway. We're standing in the hallway. He has this whole paper that he done wrote out with dates and everything. It says, like, correct me if I'm wrong. On these dates, you didn't post anything. On these dates, you posted. Da, da, da. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? He said, correct me if I'm wrong. You're supposed to post on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok every day. And I was like, you're wrong. He said, how am I wrong? No, I'm not. Like, he's very defensive. I'm like, I'm supposed to only be posting on TikTok 4 times a week right now. He disregarded everything I said. Like, he did not care anything that came in my mouth. He tried to call 2 of the ladies that's giving the company over or whatever. And they're both saying the same thing that I'm saying. Like, they're agreeing to everything that I'm saying. So now he's very angry. And it gets to the point where he hangs up on the people that he was trying to, I guess, get to agree with him with. And starts going off on me like, well, how much content do you make? This, that. And I'm showing him, like, I just don't understand, though. Once again, we have this whole Asana sheet. I've been having presentations. I've been showing them exactly what I've been doing every single day, on the hour, on the dot, whatever they needed. So why are they still giving me a hard time? I don't know. But let's listen to the rest of what he said to me. He basically said, I don't think you're doing anything, and the person that was before you is better than you. So now I'm just like, excuse me? He's yelling this, by the way. He's not speaking calm about anything. He was very rude about it. He's like, I don't think you're doing anything. And at this point, we're going back and forth because I feel very disrespected. I'm literally showing him all my work, telling him what I do all the time, and this is what you say to me? That's very rude. So someone had ended up running out in the hallway and stopping him from yelling in my face. And I just walked away and started crying. Then they moved me to another supervisor. Now this supervisor is completely new. It's a woman, a Korean woman. She was new. She was telling me herself she didn't know nothing about marketing like that. She was telling me she didn't know nothing about the brands. That's fine. You could come in and do your research or whatever. But the way she was talking to me, she talked to me any kind of way to the point where I'll have my headphones in or like sitting there doing graphics and stuff like that. She would say, yo, this is how she spoke to me. What? Yo, like I was just a random black girl out on the street. Why are you talking to me like that? You don't speak to no one else in the office like that, but you going like this in my face saying, yo, trying to get my attention. This is a corporate job? Like, I'm just confused. So at that moment, I got up and I noticed the CEO was in the lunchroom. I go to the lunchroom. I said, as you know, I have been having problems with the marketing team like crazy. Right now, I'm just letting you know what just happened. This new supervisor, she's talking to me crazy. She's snapping her fingers in my face. She's saying, yo, just trying to get my attention. I don't know why, but I don't like it. No one else is being treated like this. I told him exactly what I'm saying to you guys right now. I told him that. He's just looking at me like, I hear you. One ear out the other, honestly. Literally the next day, I got written up. Well, warning for insubordination or something like that because I went to the CEO instead of going to another person and telling them the situation that happened. Please let me know how crazy that is. I'm getting penalized for letting the higher ups know what's going on because no one else is being able to fix the problems, the communication skills, everything that's going on right now. How does that work? It got worse from there. I had to take a mental health leave in December. At that point, I didn't even want to go back. I didn't even want to go back. I was crying to my mother saying, like, I just feel uncomfortable. They don't like me there. They treat me horrible. Everything. So why would I go back? And I regretted it. So the same day. No one welcomed me back. No one said hello to me when I walked in. And I said good morning to everyone. I say good morning. No one says anything. They just look at me, roll their eyes, or go on their phones. It was just a complete living nightmare. Mind you, I didn't do anything but do my job there, guys. I have a Korean coworker that even texted me and said, I don't know why they're so racist to you. I don't know why they're so racist to you. If they don't like you, they might as well just fire you. I don't know why they still have you here suffering. What really put the icing on the cake, you guys, is when the CEO, he called. Well, we have these meetings for design, and the whole company goes to these meetings. It was time for the marketing team to go inside. Everyone else is there, so I'm going inside, and he stops the meeting. The CEO completely stops the meeting because there was someone on the screen talking. He stops the meeting and he says, "Samaya," and points to the door. He says something really fast, like, "You don't need to be in here." He points to the door. I'm very confused. Everyone's looking at me like, huh? That's what he did, though. He kicked me out, and I just went back to my desk because I was very confused. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit here. A couple hours go by, and I seen that he was out in a hallway on his phone, like just walking. I went up to him, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, can we talk?" He said no. So I'm like, I'm pushed back. I'm like, why? I asked him why. He said, "I don't need to speak to you, man." That's how he said it. "I don't need to speak to you, man." What? The CEO of Ebin, New York is talking to me like this, guys. Guess he felt some type of way about me complaining to HR and HR going back to him and telling him these things. But that's how he reacted. The HR person wasn't there that day. So the next day, I decided that that was going to be my last day. What I mean by that is, if nothing was going to change right then and there, if they're not going to give me the respect that I deserved from day one, I wasn't going to do any work until I speak to HR once again and we're going to get something done. So I had the meeting, we get inside, and they're like, "We don't want to talk about anything that, the CEO has done to you, has said to you, anything like that. We're just going to terminate you." Terminate me for what? "Oh, because your KPI performance and I've never seen no KPI performance. Isn't that a wrongful termination? If you guys are just now trying to fire me over something like this, when I've been complaining about this company this whole time, KPI performance, I got all my work done all the time. They just try to put together any little thing, guys. How could a company target nothing but African Americans, women of color, and things like that, and treat the only black woman that you have in that corporate like that?"
Please, guys, go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this story time this sister has dropped down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this, but this story time got a lot of people talking, which we're going to do in the next part. And there's also a follow-up video of another person that called her out on this story time. But this story time has gotten a lot of people and has struck a bigger conversation. Let me know your own thought down in the comment section. Do you think that she was wrongfully terminated? Do you think that Ebin, New York is wrong at the way they treat her? And what do you think about these foreign companies, Asian companies that come to cater for black women or black people and yet not willing to treat us with respect? I love to know your own thought down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way, so feel free to share your opinion, okay? So here's my thought on this is that, you see everything she said, and this is something like I've always talked about when it comes to the Asian, the Chinese, the Koreans, and all that. Yes, I get they're everywhere, obviously. Like here in Nigeria, they're like almost everywhere, mostly the Chinese. As much as white people don't see them as whites, they still feel some type of superior over black people. And for me, I don't understand how, as a company that catered to black women, you can't even respect the only black woman on your team, and the only black woman on your team is complaining about the way she was treated while she worked with you. I don't know how you can cater for a demographic of people, and yes, you have no atom of respect for them. You don't have any level of courtesy to them. I felt like she even stayed longer there. And this is one thing, like, as black people, especially as black women, I always said it here on this channel, black women are the most disrespected people in the world. Whether we want to accept it or not, we are the most disrespected people, the most looked over people in the world. Whether you're black American, black African, Caribbean, That's why you're a black woman. Everybody feels like they can treat you whatever way and they will get away with it easily and nothing will be done about it. I felt like this sister, she stayed longer than expected, because if I was in her shoes and I was being treated that way, I would have gone on the first day. But I get times I had people are trying to make ends meet and all that. But this is where, as black people, especially as black women, we need to come together and support more black owned businesses, owned by black women, especially. Support them and make sure we grow them, because whether we like it or not, these companies, they come for our money, they come for our black dollar, and yet they are not even ready to treat the one person that represents us with respect. For me, you even talking to somebody like this in a corporate environment, why? You even speaking a language, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anybody having their dialect or their language that you speak. You are in America and the official language there, it's English. The corporate language there, it's English. So why are you speaking Korea? And this is something that I've also seen when it comes to the Middle Asian companies, even here in Africa, even here in Nigeria. They treat the black people in these companies like, I can tell you clearly here in Nigeria, and I've said it a couple of times sometimes in some of my videos, the Indians here in Nigeria make their Nigeria domestic staff to call them master. That's how degrading they still think of us as black people. And we as black people, we need to prove that our black dollar is one of the strongest dollar in the world, because we spend one of the most money in the world. So we need to really stand up for this sister and come 100%. There's more follow-up on this video, which is going to be part one, people's reaction, and then I'll follow up on someone calling her out on it. We're going to talk about that in the next video. But please go on in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So feel free to share your opinion, but be respectful. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share your thought and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.